Good evening, guys. So, another one from the batch of saws that arrived the other day. This one is, actually along with a couple of the other ones, these probably would fall into the category where you could safely say these would make a great restoration project. So, iconic colours, so Jonsered, Swedish, and the gentleman's handy written on the 621 at the side. I'm probably going to get some solvent and just remove that off of there, but actually I can't laugh about that because this is so similar to the 80 when you first look at them, other than this little mount at the back, the little AV mount. When I was cutting with one of the, what turned out to be a 621 a year ago, a year and a half ago, I honestly thought that was an 80 at the time as well, so I understand that completely. Okay, so 621, I think from 1970, and so as far as I know on this saw, it has, well, I guess there's two things to be aware of. One is that, like a load of this gentleman's saws in fact, this one is not oiling the chain properly, or not at all, so I'm reluctant to say it oils, but a tiny bit of oil seems to come out. So they have an adjustable oiler through the front, and I don't know how difficult that is to service. I've heard they are very difficult to get the exact size O-rings now for the little pump barrel. I think there's a selection of O-rings down the outside of the pump chamber, which when they wear out, I think that stops it pumping, but that might be it or not. So a weak pump or non-existent pump, unless the pickup needs looking at. Okay, so anyway, oiler not working, and make sure that's off. So it has reasonable compression, not the most compression I've ever felt on a Jonsered 621 by any means, but that's it. The rest of the saw. So she's got an 18-inch Oregon guide bar, looks really clean, has a full chisel chain, and the gentleman said it was sharp, and it looks, in fairness, it looks pretty sharp. I would love to cut with it, but it's just, as it's not oiling, I think that's going to be just an inappropriate thing to do, and it really should be serviced as well. Or maybe just an amazing source of spare parts. No breaks to the side cover. The aluminium top cover is got this lovely patina on it and is unbroken. Pull start housing unbroken. Original filler caps. AV mounts look good. Certainly at the back it looks nice. Knuckle guard present. The air filter, the mesh is completely gone, so it's just like the plastic framework. So needs a new air filter, or I guess you could wrap it with a gauze. Flywheel, both the starter pulls are present. No brakes on the pull start housing, looks really nice in fact. Starter handle rubber is perished, but it's the original Jonsered, which is really, really nice. Still got the Jonsered logo on it. Let me show you what this girl runs like. Choke lever's a little bit loose, obviously works, but just I think they're held on with a split pin, but that sometimes needs looking at. There. Choke off. throttles reasonably well. Again, not so has compression, and undoubtedly, I think when he said a slight engine rattle, perhaps that could do with a piston ring, and maybe that could, or maybe the top end bearings, or maybe it's just good for parts. But so she certainly runs, obviously has a great spark, and on a restart she seems just looking at the chain, because I put in some high quality Husqvarna oil, and I can see like a mist of oil on the chain, but definitely just not pumping properly. Otherwise I would have no hesitation putting her into wood and just seeing how she cuts. So what I'll do, guys, is I like that handwritten 621. I'm going to pause the vid, take off the covers, and then give people a walk around. Back in a moment. Hey guys. Okay, so chain side cover is in really lovely original condition. No brakes on it at all, and you can see this gunky oil which is throwing up from the chain. So but normally you'd expect that to be dribbling down when you've been revving it, so it's something's coming out, but that oiler is obviously not right. This looks like two stainless steel guide bar nuts, which is nice. This is the air filter. So the mesh is there is no mesh. Okay, that's the air filter housing. Rear cover for the air filter, excellent. Okay, round to this side then. So clutch drum looks really clean. Chain catcher by the oil pump they're generally really badly broken, but that's in good shape. And this really nice full chisel chain. So it looks pretty clean in here. Oh yeah, so it's got a piece of copper wire going through. It should have a split pin, I think, going through correctly on the choke. So that's only very small, but good to be aware of. Looks very, very clean in here. Again, throttle lock and kill switch obviously working. Here's this broken pull start shroud for the little, love those metal inserts for the pull starts. That's the one where it has a tortuous path for the pull cord to go through, and you go round. So there's the oil pump situated in here. I believe that's removed with a hex key. Correct filler caps, no brakes to the pull start housing. The pull start housing is in really nice condition, and then the top cover again appears really unusually completely undamaged and has not been painted or messed around with. Correct on off switch. Just looks generally pretty damn good, either as a donor saw or as, there you go, so you can just see oil, just a little bit, just a weep of oil. So evidently something's just not right or happy with the chain oiler. Okay guys, I'll quickly put the covers back on. Did I show the back? I haven't. So rear AV mount at the back looks really nice and clean. Looks good on both sides. No brakes to the rear handle. There she is. Okay, I'll pause again, get the covers on, and then show her on a restart. Hi guys. Okay, so back together. So again, I think she's looks absolutely complete, with the exception of okay, hypercritical, the little plastic knuckle guard, and so she doesn't have the felling spike on her. Other than that, she's just looks so complete. Just noticed one of the threads on top is a little bit loose, but generally just an amazing project saw, or maybe just a great donor saw. Let me show you on a restart. Kill switch, throttle lock. So hard to find nice 621s. It's such a collectible engine as well. Okay guys, thanks for watching. So that's the Jonsered 621, and I don't know if I said the age groups for these, so a little bit like their bigger brother. So from 1970 up to around 1980, maybe the early 80s in fact, depending on the literature you look at. And that's a really strange subject as well. When you start checking different people's literature for manufacturing dates and runs of saws, there's so many anomalies everywhere. So nominal 56cc, they run a 45mm piston, they have a 35mm stroke, and yep, they're just, when they're running right, they're just beautiful saws. So here she is then, either parts or maybe just a somebody to go through her completely and have an amazing restoration project, particularly as none of the chassis components have any mag alloy damage apparently anywhere. Guys, thanks for watching. That's the beautiful 621. Just remember, whoever buys it, that 621 is probably going to be gone when it gets sent out. Bye for now, guys.